Do you think most bank CEOs know when the last time was that their institution conducted a cybersecurity incident response test?
Well, I would hope so, because the results of those tests are supposed to be reported to the board ultimately. Now, it could be rolled up into the annual report, so it could be that it was 11 months ago that they conducted the test, but they're just now finding out about it. But yes, generally speaking, the board will know that a test was completed. But that's an important thing, because everyone is conducting business continuity tests every year. They're supposed to. The Business Continuity Handbook has said that. It's general practice. It's baked into the operations of the bank. Every year you conduct a business continuity test. Most folks are not following the same stringent schedule with incident response tests, and they should be. All right. I mean, what are the odds of being struck by a cyber incident of any kind, either you or a vendor that affects you, right, versus a fire or a flood or a natural disaster of a magnitude of something that would require you to activate your business continuity plan? I would submit that the chances of being exposed to a cyber incident is much higher than a natural disaster. So I would suggest that incident response testing is even more important than disaster recovery, traditional disaster recovery testing. But certainly if you go with a once a year frequency for each of those tests, you should be fine. But most folks are not doing the incident response test. More and more are, but not with the frequency of a business continuity test.
You drew a distinction there between an incident response test for a natural disaster, which I think is something that a lot of banks are pretty well versed in, versus an incident response test for specifically a cyber incident.
Right.
Do you think most banks have done specifically a cyber incident response test?
To answer your question, no. Now, again, the vast majority of natural disasters, traditional business continuity tests, right, probably don't include a cybersecurity element to it. I mean, you can have combination tests, or where, and in fact, the guidance mentions this, where individuals will take advantage of a natural disaster to launch a cyber attack because they know that the defenses are weak. They also make the point that as you recover your bank, the infrastructure of your bank, make sure you recover it to the same security level that it was before, right? So they do kind of bake a little cybersecurity into that, but almost all cybersecurity attacks have some sort of a traditional recoverability element to them. Okay, so when we do incident response testing, we almost always refer back to the business continuity plan and say, are any of the processes that we've identified and done business impact analysis for in our traditional business continuity plan, are any of those processes going to be impacted beyond recovery time objectives by this incident? And that's how we kind of link the two together.
So it sounds like banks have a lot of BCP focused on the resiliency of a natural disaster, but you're indicating that the probability of a cyber incident there's a much higher probability of that incident happening, cyber versus natural disaster,
yes,
even though the damage may not be as catastrophic as a natural disaster in these plans that these tests people do.
Right, right.
I was just saying some words like you do.
I almost said some more words after your words, but I decided not.
I think we've said enough words.